Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. I'm May. I wanted to give a little heads up that this video contains spoilers for Mistria. I'm very far into Mistria. I'm about to be entering year 3 and I'm almost caught up to the update that just came out last week-ish by the time of this filming. So if you're someone that plays Mistria and you're not very far in or you haven't unlocked all the characters that you can meet, I would proceed with caution because this is a video where I'm picking my books based off of characters in Mistria, and that might contain spoilers for you. This is my little heads up. I do say it before I mention the character, but this is like, I want to give an even bigger one because I know it's a very popular game right now, and you might not be all the way that I am, but this is your heads up. If you don't mind spoilers, then proceed. If you do mind spoilers and you're not very far in, turn off the video and come back when you are far enough in. This video will be here forever, so it's not like you can't come back. But I wanted to give a huge heads up because I do love this game and I do want to talk about it. And I'm not like playing the game, it's just characters that are mentioned and showed briefly. So yeah, that's your heads up. This is your huge spoiler warning. Proceed with the actual video if you would like. This is gonna be a fun video where I'm gonna have Mistria characters pick my reads for the week. And I know you're probably thinking, how the heck are you gonna do that? But I have a whole plan that I'm gonna walk you through. But I read about 3 books a week typically, and so I'm gonna get on my Mistria game and we're gonna go into the game, and the first 3 characters that I run into, I'm gonna pick books based off of their personalities. And I do already have a TBR for this month, and it's mostly fantasy, but a lot of it has romance, so I think it will still work. It might just take some finagling. But I can't just pick whatever way I want. I'm going to like spin a wheel to know what direction to go into or where to start. And then the first 3 characters that I run into, or the first 3 books that I'll read for the week. And this is going to be a weirdly timed video because I need to pick the books before the week, but I also need the full week to read. So you won't get this video until like the week after I read. So I'm picking these right before August 1st so that I can start these on Monday, the first week of August, technically the first week of August. And then I'll read these books the whole first week of August, and then you'll get the video the second week of August. I hope that makes sense. I might even pick 4 characters just in case I get like a shorter book. But that's the gist of it. I wanted to explain what's happening, but yeah. So essentially, Mistria characters are picking when I read this week off of a TBR that I already have planned. So it should be fun. It's really just telling me what I'm going to be reading first. And I thought it would be really exciting, especially because the new update just came out and I know it's all the hype. So I thought it'd be fun. Also, ignore the stains on my shirt. This shirt is so old. But yeah, let's get into the game and I'll show you what's happening. Okay, so I am in the game and I have my little wheel spin here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the first spin to see where we're going. Essentially, I need to go what direction I'm going. Am I going up to the left? Am I teleporting to the deep woods? If we get like the northern, like the western ruins or like the beach, I'll like go to those areas and count the people that are there. If there's no one there, and then on the way back. So let's see how this is gonna work. I have no idea if it's gonna work. I have never seen anyone do this before. I've never done this before. This is just an idea that I had. So we're gonna spin and see what direction I'm going in. I have no idea. I'm scared. The beach. Okay. So I don't know if anyone's gonna be at the beach because it's currently snowing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk to go to the beach, see if anyone's there. If no one is there, we can either choose to count the people that we walk like backwards, or maybe I do another spin if no one's there. Let's try that. Let's just go. Let me hide this for a second. Let's go to the beach and see if anyone's there. Let's see what we get. The Narrows. Okay. That, I think, it is more like, I don't know where anyone is. I'm not checking my map to cheat. I'm just gonna go and explore. This is more likely to have people there. So, we're gonna go to the Narrows, which is... I was gonna use my little purse. It's this up area. Yeah! I don't know if any... I mean, unless we want to count the museum people. So we got Iliad, is I think how you say people's this person's name, and we got Oral. Oh my god, I cannot speak. So we got 2 people just right off the bat. And Baylor, technically. Okay, I was not expecting to get 3 people. So should I count the first person we walked into, and then we spin again to get the second person, or do I just count these as all 3 people? I wasn't expecting to run into like multiple people in an area, but I do in fact love Baylor. What about for the plot? We do the first person that we run into, which would be Elid, and then I'll spin again, and then we'll get the second person, and then like maybe it's like 1 person per spin. Let's see what we get. Let's do that and see how that works out. I have no idea, but that was crazy that I got 3 people in one area. If we get the narrows again, then we'll count one of them. Ooh, okay, that is a different area. Okay, let's go to the Eastern Road and see who we find over there. I do in fact love Baylor, but he's obviously on the move, so I might find him somewhere else. So the Eastern Road is all the way over to the right. Like I said, I have no idea how this idea is gonna work out. Okay, is there anyone over here? I mean, I know it has probably the carpenter. Let me check the map. No one's over here, actually. Oh my god, I'm kind of actually surprised. While I'm over here, I am gonna, like, collect these things. Okay, well, no one's over here, so I guess we spin again. We spin. We shall spin. Obviously, they're on the move, so as the day goes on, people might go into a new area. Sweetwater Farm. That is where Hayden is. Okay, wait. The beach. The beach, I am gonna check the map real fast because I don't feel like anyone's gonna be at the beach. No one's at the beach. So we're gonna spin again. It seems like a lot of people are probably gonna be in like the actual part of the map, like the Mistria part, but you know, I wasn't trying to make it too easy. I want like the deep woods. The Western Ruins. Okay. Well, I'm on the move. Okay. I mean, it is in fact snowing. So a lot of people are gonna be inside. Reese, I love you. But I'll be back. The Western Ruins are all the way over here. Typically the only people over here is Elid, which we just got. I actually don't even know how to say their name. I'm such a fake person. Yeah, no one's here. Okay, this idea is not going like I thought it was. Damn it. Okay, hold on. I want like the deep woods because I want Caladoris, but I don't want to like. Are we gonna get the deep woods? The only person in the deep woods is Caladoris. Like no one else is there. Let's go see him. I'm actually not, because it is spoilers. So if you know who that character is, well, I guess I can just put a spoiler warning. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. If you're playing this game and you haven't met all the characters, then I would stop looking. We're gonna go to the deep woods to see my man. And then we're gonna get our third wheel spin, or maybe I just walk and see where we go. I don't know, but I mean, no one else should be here. Now the question is, Caladoris might be asleep because he is in bed sometimes, which we don't have to talk to him. I just want to show him. I love him. Ah! There he is. There's my man. I feel like everyone's in the town square right now because it's so late. Other than Elid, but we already got Elid. Let me just check. I think everyone's here. Okay. We're going to go... Since everyone's in the town square, we're gonna do... I'm gonna walk back in there, which I think I'm gonna run into Hayden. The first person I run into when I go over is who the next book is based off of. It's actually Reese! Oh, I was expecting Hayden! Where did Hayden go then? I thought Hayden was literally coming right this way. Oh, he went to the doctor's. Okay. What a lineup! Okay. Let me just show you who we've picked books off of real fast. So we have picked a book off of Caladoris, who is a single dragon. Stunning. I love him. And then we have to pick off a book off of Elid, who is a single archaeologist. And then we have to pick a book off of Reese, who is a single carpenter. And I did want to pick 4 books. So I'm going to pick a 4th book just for shits and giggles in case I agree through this. So I'm going to go over here for a second. And then we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to walk book over and see who I run into. Let's give Reese a chance to get over here. Okay, let's walk back over there and see who we run into. No one yet. If we don't run into anyone, we might have to go into the, we already got him. Fuck. Is anyone else walking? There is some people walking. Let's see if I run into them or if they go another direction. Okay, I don't want to fucking... This is a child. I don't want to do the children. I'm sorry. Hate crime me. Oh, they all went inside. Okay. Let's go back down again. I'm committed to this idea, y'all. Like, I think this idea is fun. Okay. Let's see if anyone's out and about. I feel like everyone is gonna be in their homes. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. I don't think any... Hayden! We did end up getting Hayden! Oh my god. Okay, so Hayden is the farmer who runs the secret Sweetwater farm. So that's our 4 people that we have to base books off of. I can't believe we didn't get a single girly pop. I can't believe that. Okay, so I do already have a TBR picked out for the month. So I'm gonna go over to that real fast, and I can like show it to you guys, and then I already know for Hayden, I'm already reading a cowboy romance. It's literally called like Sunlight by Devney Perry. Okay, so this is the TBR that I made for Diceathon. And I'm technically reading 2 cowboy romances. So we could either do Sunlight for Hayden, or we could do the 2nd book in the Chestnut Springs series. Heartless, it says, working as a nanny for the world's grumpiest single dad should have been simple, except I can't keep my eyes off of him. Hayden's is not really grumpy is the problem. He's more like super, super nice. What about Sunlight? First day in Montana, I got into a tug of war over a grocery store shopping cart. The most handsome man I've ever seen broke up the scuffle before he even asked me on the date. I was seconds away from accepting, but then he told me his name. He broke up a fight, so he seems sweet. I just don't see Hayden as grumpy, so I can't really give him Heartless because he's not grumpy. So I think I'm gonna pick Sunlight for Hayden. I mean, he broke up a fight, and he does own the ranch. He's like the actual owner of the ranch, and it says he's the most handsome man. Hayden is very handsome. It says that he wears Wrangler jeans, and I, you know, honestly, I feel like this fits Hayden. We'll do Sunlight by Devney Perry for Hayden, and then the other 3 is where it's gonna be interesting. I do have a book in mind for Caladoris, but if I say this, it's gonna be spoilers. The book that I'm thinking is gonna be spoilers, for the book. No, I'll do the non-spoiler one because one of the book I was thinking about, literally you find out that it has dragons at the end of the first book, and I don't want to spoiler that. So I'm going to go for the book that I know for a fact has dragons, and it's like known, it's like literally in the tag of the book. So the book that I'm thinking about is the Rogue X Arya series, which I need to read the second book, which is The Last Draig, and it literally is tagged with dragons, so it's like a known thing. So we're gonna do the second book of Rogue X Arya for Caladoris. The thing about it is, most of the books that I have to read is like not giving Eilid or Rhys. So, because Rhys isn't grumpy, so Chestnut Springs is about a grumpy cowboy. Dirty Air is like formula racing. And then the rest of them are fantasy, which I can pick for them. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking because, Iliad is like very into like discovering things, and that's kind of reminding me of like the Forestborn series. So like maybe I pick Wildbound for him. It says who creates a character-driven fantasy where personal trauma collides with geopolitical stakes and value stories that braid queer identity, mental health struggles, and the ethics of rebellion into a single epic arc. There's a magical illness that needs to be discovered. Honestly, I feel like something being discovered is very like Eilid vibes because he's literally like the architect. Like he loves discovering new things. So I'm gonna pick that for him. Oh, I haven't even been showing this picture. I'm so horrible. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is Eilid. He's giving like prince behavior. And I think there is a prince in this book anyway, so I think that would work out as well. And then the last one I have to pick a book for is Rhys. And he is a carpenter. So he's like, you know, maybe I do pick like Chestnut Springs for him. Let me read the description of Heartless again. Wait, okay, maybe it should be him because it says he's gruff, a little rough around the edges, a broad-shouldered rancher with very calloused hands. I'm just saying the calloused hands. I bet Rhys has calloused hands. So maybe I do two romances, two fantasies. I think that would be fun. None of these are a perfect fit, obviously. This is just me making them fit books that I already had on my TBR, but I do think these fit really well. So I think I'm content in my choices. So as a recap, we're going to be reading Heartless by Elsie Silver for Rhys. We're going to be reading Sunlight by Devney Perry. And then we're going to be reading Wildbound by Aline Audrey Becker for Eilid. The Last Draig by J.D. Litton for Caladoris. So those are the 4 books that I'm going to try to read this week. I don't even know if I'm going to get to all 4, but I'm going to try my best. I might extend the video a little bit. It'll be like roughly a week. Give or take a day, really. Because I don't really read on Sundays. I edit, so really it'd be like Friday to Saturday, pretty much. Instead of like Monday to Monday. Because technically, if I'm going to do a week, I need to do Monday to Monday. So maybe instead of Monday to Monday, I do like Friday to Saturday-ish. We'll see how it goes. If I need to go into Saturday, I will. But if I can get it done by Friday, that'll be even better. Okay, anyways, we're going to spin to see what our first book is going to be. I don't even know if I spell these names right, but it doesn't matter. It's simply just to know what my first book's going to be. This is such a long clip of just picking the books. Okay. Oh, hey, I'm starting this book next. And then I'll do a 50% check-in, and then I'll do a check-in when I'm finished and give like a spoiler-ish review and rating. I'll see you in the next clip when I give you an update on how I'm liking The Last Draig by J.D. Litton. Okay, hi, it is August 2nd, and I just got 50% of The Last Draig. Ignore the mess. I've been very busy today, but I finally got a light for my camera, and I do need to mess with some settings to get like the right warm texture that I'm going for, but this is better than it going in and out, like changing the lighting in the videos, focusing, unfocusing. At least this will stabilize the lighting situation, and you know, I take it as a win. But I started reading The Last Draig, which is the second book in a series. Essentially, the series is like it's like a basic fantasy. Like, there is someone called the Stormbringer who pretty much has wind and storm powers, and there is the Draig, which are pretty much just dragon shifters, and there was like a magic curse on them so that they couldn't access their magic. It's very typical fantasy, but it's so bingeable. Like, it's so addicting because it reads so fast. Like, I read 100 pages in like less than an hour, which is like way faster than I would normally read. But something about it, like, I think the pages are shorter, like the words on the pages are like maybe not as much, or maybe there's less on it or something. But I literally was flying through it, and it's like not, I wouldn't say it's like a masterpiece at all, but it's addicting. Like, it's like one of those series where you're like, oh my god, I know that I've read better, but I seriously, like, I'm devouring this in the moment. It's so good, and it has smut, and the smut is really good. The smut is really good. The main characters seem like they're so hot. I don't mind that they're banging, because I would be banging too if I was them. But I can't tell you too much of the plot because of the fact that it's the second book in the series. But it's really, I think it's like, if you want like a good entry-level, beginner-friendly fantasy, this would be a good one. It's also a TikTok fantasy, so my expectations for it were never really that high. I read the first one, I think I gave it like a 4-star maybe. It's just like, these are fun books for me. Like, anytime I get a book from TikTok, I never expect that much from it. I just expect to maybe have a good time, and that's exactly what I'm having. But there's not just like the Draigs and the Stormbringers. There's also like people that have like wind powers and water powers and healing, and there's like Wyren. Is what they're called? Viren? Viren? I don't know what they're called, but it's like Wyerv. That word. It's typically the people that you see like in dragons. Like in dragon books, they'll be like the smaller ones. And it's really, it has like an original plot. Like, I don't think it's copying anything. It's just like a very basic level. Like, the plot's not like anything too specifically advanced or anything specifically like detailed. You actually get very little details. You just get like, it's not like brain heavy. It's very like short and simple, straight to the point. It pretty much holds your hand and tells you exactly what you need to know as you get to know it. And that's good sometimes. It's a good first book of the month, honestly. I'll be finishing it probably tomorrow, hopefully, with how fast that I've been reading it. And I think I have like 2 hours left in the book. So it's definitely doable to get this finished tomorrow. But that's my initial thoughts on it. And I hope this lighting is a lot better than what we've been dealing with. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay, I just finished The Last Draig. I think I'm gonna be giving this like a 4-star. I think I'm still sitting on it. These books are so addicting. They're like when you watch a really bad reality TV show and you want to quit, but you can't quit because you're just so invested and you just want more of that. It's not even bad. It's just, there's nothing really special about it. Like, it doesn't really stand out as a fantasy book, but it's so addicting. And I said that in the last clip like 4 times, but I just want to reiterate that that's like the reason why I'm reading the series. Like, I'm locked in. So, and I felt like this one was a little bit slower than the first one. Like, nothing really happened too much until like the last 4 chapters, and then like shit hit the fan. And now a lot is happening. I almost cried. And I feel like this author is not afraid of like death and like killing some people off. Like, I feel like sometimes in fantasies, authors are like, oh, well, they're a fan favorite. I'm not gonna touch them. I feel like this author is like giggling to themselves, being like, I'll kill anyone I want off because I'm the author. And I kind of respect that, because like, sometimes when you have a fantasy book and no one dies in it, it's a little bit unrealistic, because especially if it's about like a war, people die in war. So having people die only makes sense. Now, that doesn't hurt, because I almost just did cry, and I know that the next book in this series literally comes with a trigger warning of like, don't read this book until you're ready to be devastated, because it is literally, this is spoilers, not like for the overall plot, but like it's based off of like the third book is actually like a prequel, and it's about the main character's mom and dad, and they don't have a very good life. It's pretty tragic. They're mates, and her dad is like brutally killed, so her mom loses the love of her life, and it's their prequel story, and she's literally like, this is a tragedy, this is not a love story, this is a tragedy, so do not touch this book until you're fully prepared for that. And I'm scared. I'm supposed to read it this month because the series just got complete. Like the last book came out I think 2 days ago, so I am going to be reading it no matter what, but I have to get myself in that headspace to be devastated, because we know how it ends. Like, this is one of those books where you read it knowing how it ends, but it's gonna be tragic. I'm probably gonna sob. Maybe I should do like a cry counter of every time I cry in the book. But yeah, there's like there's like magic. It's don't even know how to explain it other than like a reality TV show that you just can't get enough of. Like, it's almost like a comfort genre of books for me, where it's like they're fast to read. Like, once again, I sat down and I read 200 pages so quick, because I read 200 pages yesterday, 200 pages today, and that was the book. Like, usually if I was to read like a almost over 400 page book, that would take quite some time. Like, sitting down reading wise, I'd have to spend like probably 4 or 5 hours. These books just go by so fast, like in a blink of an eye. Chapters are very short. I feel like the dialogue is very to the point. The smut, there's more smut than I would say is plot in this one. So if you're someone that doesn't really love smut, you might not love this series. But if you love smut, I feel like this has more smut than plot. So you would probably be happy with that. So yeah, I think it's going to get a 4-star from me. Maybe a 3.75. I'm still thinking on it. The second book, I did a will spin for the first one, but I'm actually just going to pick the next one. I'm going to read the next book and the Chestnut Spring series. I'm blanking on it. Heartless, I think is what it's called. I just need a good cowboy romance following what I just read, because I almost cried. And maybe the cowboy romance might also make me cry, but it'll make me cry for different reasons. It is Sunday. I'm a little nervous about finishing this in the week. To be very transparent, I have been feeling very exhausted lately. I have spent most of this weekend in bed, sleeping. I slept 13 hours last night, and that was after like 4 or 5 naps. I just am combating burnout, and I am taking time for myself and all that. But I haven't been motivated to read or film or to edit, and so I'm a little worried that I won't be able to finish this in the week that I gave myself. So don't be upset with me if it actually takes a little bit longer. I might be like saying this and not even needing it, because I might like fly through the other 3 books, but seeing as it took me Friday to Sunday to finish one book, I might need like 10 days instead of 7. But I did get a really nice YouTube comment today that really made me get out of bed. They were like saying that the way that I do my videos are like their favorite form of like content, because it's like you just sit there and you get to listen to someone rant about what they love and what they don't love, and it's like so much better than actually reading the book, because you don't have to read it and you just get everything anyways. And it made me happy. I was like, dang, thank you. Like, I have been feeling like I do enjoy making YouTube content, but I have been like, oh my god, I've been doing this for almost 7 months and I've not really been growing. But then occasionally I get those kind of comments where I'm like, but I'm still getting there. Like, maybe I'm not a million subscribers or whatever, but like, people are enjoying my content, and that's all I really want from it. Is like, I wanted a place to be able to yap with you guys, and getting those comments occasionally really like boosts me back into it, where I'm like, okay, people are liking my content, I'm doing good. There were some things I have to work out still, but overall, like, I'm not doing too bad. That's a little check-in for the month so far. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I get 50% into Heartless. Okay, hi everyone. It is August 5th, and this is my check-in for the cowboy romance that I'm reading, which is called Heartless. And I have to go on like a little bit of a tangent. Not about the book, but about like a premise of the book. When I decided to do this video, I was very confident that I'd be able to do it in 7 days. that was a fucking joke. Because tell me why I opened this book and it is 700 pages. 700. 700 pages for a cowboy romance. How much Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy could there possibly be in one book? That it needs to be 700 pages. Dear Lord. I'm reading it because I thought I was going to. But I feel like maybe this is my sign that I'm not meant to be a long book romance reader. Because I do enjoy the occasional romance. But I cannot think to the life of me why a book that's not a fantasy would ever need to be 700 pages. Like, to me, the perfect romance is 300 pages. 350 is okay if you have like a nice strong plot going with lots of drama and lots of tension. 400 starts to become too much in my brain. So 700, maybe it's just the copy that I have, but when I tell you when I opened this book and it was 700 pages, I almost put it down. I almost DNF'd on purpose. I almost was like, you know what, no video, end the video here, cut the cameras. I almost did that because I was like, why did someone write a 700-page book about riding cowboys? Listen, okay, it has nothing against this book. I think I need to go through the list of romances on my list and remove any over 400 pages. Would that be mean? Would that be mean? Should I be a biatch about this? Because simply, I'm having fun, but imagine how many other books I could read after I've already read this 700-page book. Like, I could have easily have read 2 books for the price of 1. And because I was like, oh, I'm gonna have this done hopefully by Wednesday. Yeah, I had to read 354 pages just to hit 50%. This video is not going to work out the way that I thought it was. I was so confident that I'd be able to read this before Friday. It's not happening. Like, this is definitely going to have to just be an extended video where I do read with me for the week-ish. Like, I can definitely get it done by Sunday. I can get all the books done by Sunday because I checked Sunlight is only 270 pages. The other fantasy is only like 350. Like, those are all normal sized books. I have to somehow get through this hunka wonka wonka book of I have no words about the size of this book. Now to the actual plot of this book. This is a cowboy romance where the guy is a single dad and he runs a ranch and he needs help taking care of his 5-year-old son because the mom left him. He can't handle running the farm and taking care of his kid because he just thinks that his kid needs more attention than what he's able to give them. So he starts looking for a nanny. And he interviews a bunch of nannies and none of them are working out because he's too particular. So his sister-in-law is like, hey, I know someone who I think would be a great nanny for you. She acts just like me. And he was like, you know what? If you can vouch for them, have them stop by. The person she sends to be the nanny is not a good person. Like, not a good person, but she has no experience with kids. She's a bartender. So his sister-in-law pretty much set him up. Because she ought to known that girl is not going to be a good nanny. So it's pretty much following her, like, trying to learn the ropes of being a nanny while also thinking the dad is hot and, like, should they bang? Should they not bang? Will it get too messy for the kid? And I honestly just... it's fun. It's so much fun. But I've read 354 pages and they haven't even kissed yet. So I'm a little angry. I don't really like slow burns, and the fact that we ain't even hooting and hollering yet at this point, and I'm already this deep in, I'm a little upset with you, LC Silver. I'm a little upset. I'm okay waiting for like the actual wham bam thank you ma'am. I can be patient, but they don't even really like each other fully yet. Like, they're just now getting over the hatred of each other because like he's just a grumpy old man. But I just am a little worried about how I gave the first book 5 stars, so I obviously like the series, but I feel like I need to not read long books ever again after this. Like, maybe after I finish the series, I just don't read another book this long in the romance genre specifically. I mean, but it's really good. Like, right now it's a 4-star because nothing's happening. They're just talking in circles with each other, and then she's taking care of the kid, and I mean, he does sound hot, but it's something special. Like, it's just like a grumpy old man who's a rancher, who's a single dad, and she's like a city girl who needs to be away from the summer to make some money because her rich parents don't want her around, whatever. I don't even know the exact story anymore. And I'll definitely be finishing tomorrow because I have to read, I think, over 100 pages still, so I should definitely be able to finish this book by tomorrow. But finishing this video by Friday is not going to happen anymore. I'll have to be honest with myself. I'm not mad at myself. I couldn't have ever known that a cowboy book was going to be 700 pages. I could never have estimated that. And I didn't check beforehand because I was like, surely it will be fine. Surely. So yeah, that's the update that I can give you. It's fun. It's not really romantic yet because they haven't even smooched. But that's all I can really say at the time being. But I will check in tomorrow when I finish because I think I definitely should be finishing tomorrow. And yeah, I already know what I'm going to read next. I'm going to read Sunlight next because it's short. It's less than 300 pages. I should easily be able to finish that in like a day if I work hard, play hard, and read hard. Everything hard. That was a weird joke. Don't make jokes like that, May. I'm asexual, but I make a lot of jokes like that. I'm weird. But yeah, I'll check in tomorrow with you guys. Okay, hi. It is August 6th, and I just finished Heartless. And yes, I'm in the same shirt as yesterday because I haven't showered yet because I haven't gotten off work. I woke up late. So don't call me names. I have some bad things to say about this book, and I will take a lot of the blame. This book is really long, and I don't think anything happens in it to justify it being that long. I was given a summary. It's about like a guy who's a retired rancher, and he used to ride bulls, and now he needs someone to help take care of his son, so he hires a nanny, and they fall in love. And it's so long for no reason. And don't get me wrong, it's really cute. Like, it's a lot. It's giving you a really deep dive into their relationship and how they're falling in love. So it's not like it is a very slow burn. Like, it's not just like all of a sudden, which I think people will like. But I don't need to know every second of someone's relationship in a book. And I think that's so much of the book is just like them falling in love. And I guess that does like help people that want that, but I don't think I'm one of those people. I think I want to read a romance where it's like, okay, it has a plot, they're starting to fall in love, the book's wrapping up. It was like the plot, and then it was like 400 pages of them falling in love, and then it was like 200 pages to wrap it all up, and I just feel like the tagline of this book is like, save a horse, ride a cowboy, save some fucking trees, and write shorter books, please. It's my tagline for this book, and I read it on an ebook, so it doesn't even make sense, but it's a funny joke of saying it, but I think this book could have been like 300 pages shorter and been just as good. And I was originally going to be rating it a 4.5. I will no longer be rating it a 4.5 because this has accidental pregnancy in it, which I was not aware of. I'm not in the habit of checking content warnings when it comes to romance because a lot of my content warnings that I actually like care about, they're only in like horror or like dark fantasy or like thrillers. I'm really not in the habit of like checking every single romance books that I read, and that's entirely on me because it is listed as pregnancy. But I at first thought that maybe meant like it was talk of pregnancy because the guy is single dad, so I was like, he has a son. I don't mind when there's a kid in the book and they're grown up, like he was a 5-year-old. I don't mind that necessarily. I don't mind when there's actual pregnancy, like the character ends up being pregnant, because it's never really done well in my mind, and it's never like, it's always like to trap someone in a relationship, in my personal opinion. And this happened out of the blue. Like, spoiler alert for Heartless by Elsie Silver, but the guy is working with cows and he gets pinned in and he breaks like 3 of his fingers, and they go to the hospital, and while she's at the hospital she's talking to the doctor and she's like, oh my god, I'm late, my period's late, give me a pregnancy test. And she's just out of the blue just realized that she was very late and took a pregnancy test. And maybe that's like, I don't know what the typical method of realizing that you're pregnant is. I wouldn't know, I've never been pregnant, but it felt like so out of the blue of like, oh, you're not her husband, your boyfriend broke his fingers and now you've had a realization that you're pregnant. And that was just a wild way of doing it. Like, you're just reading and it's just like, oh. And I would classify it as accidental pregnancy because they weren't trying to get pregnant, and the main male character had said that he had a bad relationship with his previous girlfriend because she got pregnant on purpose to trap him. and she like went off for her birth control without telling him, and then they got married, and then they got divorced, and like he had talked about it multiple times. So to me it seemed like the author was kind of like gonna rehash that same story again, and they do end up like being happy and like keeping the kid, but that's besides the point. I just think it came out of nowhere, and I would consider it accidental because they weren't trying. She didn't even realize, I guess, until her husband, I keep saying husband, until her boyfriend broke their fucking fingers, but I don't know. I just think that accidental pregnancy is not for me. It kind of gives me a huge ick, and I was going to be giving it a 4.5, and now I'm going to be giving it a 3.75, and I did go do my research. There was at least one other book in this series with accidental pregnancy, and I haven't decided if I'm just going to DNF the rest of the series, or if I'm going to just skip those books that have the accidental pregnancy. I'm not sure. Because I know the next one doesn't have it, and it's a hockey romance, and I do love me a hockey romance, but the 5th one does, and the 6th one doesn't, and I don't know if I can skip book 5. Like, obviously they're an interconnected series, but like sometimes important details happen in these interconnected series, so I'm gonna have to do my research to see if I'd be able to skip book 5, but I'm also gonna see how long they are. If they're like 700 pages as well, I think I might just end here. Like, there's nothing super special about the series. So essentially, it's one of those series where there's a bunch of brothers, and they're essentially all finding wives through each book. And that's so done by so many people. Like, I mean, Devney Perry did that with the Eden family, and I can think of a couple people that have done that, where like they have a family and each book gives them a wife or a husband, whatever. So it's not like it's new idea that I can only get from this author. I can simply get it from other people that might be writing it better and might be writing it in a more compatible way for my brain and my desires. So I think I'm leaning towards maybe DNFing, or maybe stopping after the hockey romance book, because I am intrigued for the hockey romance, because I do think it's interesting that out of a family of ranchers, he's a hockey player. I want to know the backstory behind that, but I think I have no real like draw interest to like learning the love story of the other two brothers, I'm assuming. I don't know. It's just an interesting feelings that I'm having. Like, it's not a bad book, and I think if I would have read the content warnings, I would have just never have read it. So I will take most of the blame, because it is on me. And I gave the first book 5 stars, but it didn't have accidental pregnancy in it. And maybe that's why I wasn't prepared for it, because I was like, oh, the first book didn't have it. Maybe I'm in the clear. And then as soon as I got to it, I was like, it was like the last 50 pages. Like, I don't know why she couldn't have just put that in the epilogue. And like, and then it would have been like, okay, whatever, the book ends, they're pregnant, whatever. No, it was like the 3rd act breakup was like the pregnancy. I just don't love it. It gives me the ick. I don't love when people get pregnant in books without meaning to, and then it's like the drama of the book. And like I said, I can read books with children in them just fine. Like the 5-year-old that he had was a cutie patootie. I had no problem with him. It was when they brought in the accidental pregnancy aspects of it that kind of really ruined the vibe of the book for me. So I'm giving it a 3.75, and I will be starting Sunlight, because I need to read 50 more pages for the day, and I'll probably be finishing that tomorrow, and then we'll have one book left after that. So that's my little rant and rave about the book. Well, not rave, because you can't rave when you don't like it. It's not bad. Like, I don't think I would personally, technically I do have I have the Wild Side, Wild Eyes series by Elsie Silver as well. I need to look into that one as well and see if there's accidental pregnancy in that one. If there is, I might be DNFing 2 of those series, which I have been a little bit hesitant, because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I just don't feel like I'm a romance reader. I think I'm a very sporadic, read by certain authors kind of romance readers, and I think I need to be honest with myself and this community and say that I don't read romances, and I should stop buying them and reading them expecting different outputs, because I think I'm in the middle of like 9 romances from last year that I tried the first book and never went back to. I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and try the second book. But I think I might just need to like clear those out. I might just need to like not read them. So I think I'm going to, maybe I'll make it a video, like a short video where I do like an audit to my series tracker of like, okay, do I really want to finish this? Because if I'm finishing a series just to say that I'm finishing it, that's not what reading's supposed to be like. Reading's supposed to be like, you're excited to read the next book. You're excited to get to the ending. Like, if you're just reading it to be like, okay, well, I read it and now I can mark it off, that's not what it's really supposed to be like. And I think I need to evaluate if that's why I still have these romances on here, or if I'm genuinely wanting to read the next book. Maybe I'll make it like its own little video and we'll do it together. But I think I have like 9 romances that I'm in the middle of. The fantasies, I always love those. Like romantasy I love. I just, something about contemporary romances kind of peeve me off a little bit sometimes. And I think some authors really work for me and some authors don't. And that's all I can really say. Because I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. If you like accidental pregnancy, that's totally fine. If you like Elsie Silver, that's totally fine. I need to do better about content warning checking. It's on me. It doesn't make her a bad person. I can't hate the author for it because the author did put it in the content warnings. But I can still hate the book, in my personal opinion. Okay, well, I'm going to start Sunlight, and I will be back tomorrow. When I get 50% in. Or actually, it's such a short book, I might just be back when I'm done. Because it's like not even 300 pages. So I might just finish it and then I'll, you know, talk about it then. To be determined. But bye for now. Hi everyone. I'm about to crash out. I'm literally about to crash out. This must be some sick fucking joke. It has to be some sick joke. I'm reading Sunlight by Devney Perry. I read 50 pages of it yesterday. I was like, oh, this is amazing, but this is like at least readable. I read it 50 more pages today, and you won't believe what I encountered. Accidental pregnancy. There's no fucking way that I have avoided that trope for 3 years, and then I have somehow gotten 2 back-to-back books. I'm losing. I can't. I DNF'd it. I can't. I can't believe this is happening to me. This is it. This must be some kind of sign that I'm supposed to go through the romances that I'm currently in the middle of and double check the trigger warnings, because I could have sworn that this book didn't have accidental pregnancy in it, because I read Devney Perry before. And I think only one book that I've ever read by Devney Perry has had pregnancy in it, but it was like pre-established as already having a kid. It wasn't like the actual, like, the character got pregnant in the book. It was already like, oh, the guy was a single dad, and it's talked about being an active pregnancy. Both effing times it has been an accidental pregnancy that just happens out of the freaking blue. I can't. I simply can't. What is it about cowboy romances where they're just like accidentally knocking their girlfriends up? I'm not doing it. I'm DNFing at 100 pages, less than 100 pages, and I'm just going to start Wildbound because it's a fantasy, and I know there's not going to be accidental pregnancy in it. I know there's not going to be. Okay, hi everyone, it's August 8th, which is our Friday, which is supposed to be the end of this video. Spoiler alert, and it's not the end of this video because I'm having one of the worst reading weeks that I've had, probably all year, which is a shame because I was really, really looking forward to this video idea. I thought it was a really cute idea to have Filled with Mistria characters pick my weekly reads, and then the reads have just been horrific, whether content-wise or like reading-wise. I don't know, it's just not been in the cards for me apparently. I started Wildbound, which I'm really, really liking, but the chapters are really long. Like I'm talking like 40 minutes a piece on Kindle and audiobook. So I literally read for probably my entire 9-hour shift, and I'm only 50% in. After reading for 9 hours. And it's not even that long of a book. It's like 400 pages, but the words are like really, really, really small. And I can't read very small text because it gives me a migraine. So I switched the audiobook thinking it'd be faster, and I have that bitch on 2 times speed, and it's still 40 I don't know what's wrong with this book. I don't know how the author fit so many words to make it so long. Like the audiobook is 18 hours for a 400-page book, and that's so crazy to me. So I did not finish the book like I was originally hoping. Honestly, my hopes for this entire video have just not been correct. It's a bit of a letdown, if I'm being honest. I got 2 accidental pregnancies back to back, which have really disappointed me. The first book was really good. It just wasn't a 5-star like I was hoping, and this one, it's being an absolute pain. Like, I don't get in reading slumps. Like, I'm not someone that gets in reading slumps because I'm not a mood reader. I just read every day. And I don't know what it is about this week, but I have just not had the good luck when it comes to picking the right books for this video. And I feel like I need to just do this video and then, like, maybe redo the idea another time. Maybe I'll do the video for, like, a whole month. Maybe, like, a future reading month will be, like, an entire Village of Mistria picks my reads TBR. So I have a whole month, so I have a better chance of, actually doing this justice. Because it was such a cute idea. I was really, really loving the idea. And the execution and the books that I got, just, it's a little disappointing. But I am liking Wildbound. It's a very interesting plot of where well, the first book is called Forestborn. This is the second book in the series, which is only a duology, so it is the last book. But it follows these siblings who can shift into 3 different animals, but any human. Like, they can take the form of any human, but only 3 animals. And 3 animals come from, like, trauma, or, like, when they're in a fight and they need to escape. And it's really interesting, and they are trying to solve what is called, like, the Thrall's Falls, I think is what it's called. Fallows? Fallows? I don't even know what it's called. But essentially, people are getting really, really sick out of the blue, and they can't be, like, saved. Like, it starts at them just with a cough, but then it ends up, like, they lose how to speak, and they're trying to figure out what's causing it. And obviously, at the end of the first book, we find out what's causing it, and the second book has been them trying to figure out how to fix it. And it's like a 4.5 right now. I just wish it wasn't taking me so long to read, but I really am hoping to finish it tomorrow and Saturday. And then this video will be done. And I'm so sorry. This is not going the way that I expected, that you'll expect. It's just, dang, like, I don't know. I don't book slump, but this is, like, making my brain hurt. Maybe I'm just having a bad brain week. But it's a YA fantasy. And it's, like, really interesting to me. Like, I don't think I've read a lot of like, obviously, a lot of fantasies have to do with magic systems, but I've never really read a shape-shifting book where they're only able to shapeshift into 3 things. Like, usually if you're reading a shapeshifter book, they can do anything. Like, any other shapeshifter book that I've ever read, they have, like, endless forms. Like, endless. Like, they can do it snap, snap, snaps. And in this book, they only have 3, and they can only hold the form for 2 days before having to go back to their regular bodies. So it's like shape-shifting, but with limits. And I think it makes it really interesting to see them have to overcome those limits. And I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. And it's fine anyways, because I do have an audiobook goal that I've been kind of slacking on. So this will help me with my audiobook goal, if nothing else. But this is the update that I have for today. And I will check in with you guys tomorrow when I actually finish the book. So yeah, thanks for being here and watching this far. I'm sorry that it's kind of disappointing. Okay, hi. It is August 9th, and I just finished Wildbound, and man, this is a pretty disappointing video. I won't lie. But I don't really have the energy to scrap all of this, so you're gonna get it. And this will be a sign that even we content creators don't always have, like, the perfect ideas. Or, like, the perfect reading weeks. I mean, it does go with, like, I read the books, so, like, it still counts for something. I'm giving Wildbound a 3.75 stars. It does not feel like the first book at all. The first book was pretty much just a single POV book, and I really liked the magic system. I thought it was a really interesting plot, like with the shapeshifters that could only shapeshift 3 times. Well, this book is a dual POV, and one of the POVs are so boring. Like, they're giving nothing. Their entire personality was just being a healer. That's what we got the entire time was, I'm a healer. I don't want to get my hands dirty. I don't want to fight. I'm a healer. And it went like that. And it went on like, and on, and on, and on. And that was, like, their only personality trait the entire book. And there is this big prediction that's brought up multiple times in the first book that's not really ever touched in this book at all, or really wrapped up in any kind of consistent way. And I just feel like the author decided to focus on the romance more than, like, wrapping up the plot, in my opinion, because in the first book, it felt like maybe, like, 5% romance. This one felt like easily, like, 50% of the book was romance, like, lots of romance scenes, and there was 2 couples in this one. And I felt like the romance was more important than what was actually happening in the story. And it felt very bad YA in the sense that, like, it gets wrapped up in a very, like, cookie cutter, picture perfect world kind of ending where, like, the bad guy is just, like, popped. Like, immediately, there's no, like, big battle scene, really. And it's just, like, I'm a little disappointed with it. But I'm giving it a 3.75 because like it had a good story. Maybe the story wasn't as strong as the first one, but it was still there. And I think it had potential, and it is the last book in the series. I think this could have benefited by being a trilogy instead of a duology, but I'm not the author. There was just a couple of things that really impacted my feelings about this book, and everything was just wrapped up like it was handed to the person with the bow. They were like, there you go. It's all yours. And there's like no really conflict resolution. And it's like, okay, that's it. Like we went through all of that for this. And maybe it's because it's like a YA book, and maybe I should just stop reading YA books. But I've read plenty of YA books that have an amazing conflict resolution. I think it's just the author. So that's the wrap up for this video. To give you a little summary, I read The Last Draig by J.D. Litton. I gave it a 4-star, I think. I might have given it a 4.25. I then read Heartless, which I'm giving a 3.75 because the accidental pregnancy made me have an ick. And then I DNF Sunlight. I don't know if it's a full-blown DNF because I just was not in the mood to read 2 accidental pregnancies back to back. Like maybe in the future I'll circle back to it because I did buy it, unfortunately. It's like one of the few books I've bought this year, which it was only $4, but still. That one might be like a soft DNF. I might come back to that because I do like the author. And I did get practically like 40% in. So maybe I'll circle back to it and I have like a couple months or something like that. And then the last book of the video, I read Wildbound. And I'm giving it a 3.75. So 2 3.75s, a DNF, and I think a 4.25. I can't remember. So not like a horrible video. It could have been like all DNFs, could have been all below 3 stars. Just not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm going to have to do a repeat of this video in the future to give it some justice. And maybe it will go better next time. But this is it. This is the video. I hope that you have enjoyed my honesty. That's about all I can give you. And I will see you guys in the next video. I would say comment emoji, but there is no good emoji for how I'm feeling right now. A crying emoji. Like, I'm not like... none of them were bad books, but none of them were up to my expectations, and it's making me feel a little slumpy. Like, for the first time ever, I have felt like not reading. And that's not good. I've never had this problem of like, oh my god. And it's like... Now I'm like, oh my god, it's August 9th and I've already only read 3, technically 4 books. Like, I'm really slagging. But thanks so much for watching if you watched this far. And I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye!